In this video, I'll be showing you how to install Kofax ControlSuite prerequisites, and I'll be using the Kofax Install Assistant for that. I have downloaded the Kofax ControlSuite offline installer. All right, and the offline installer already has the prerequisites downloaded for you, so you don't have to download them again. So that's actually the beauty of having the offline installer. Now I'll go ahead and proceed to install the Install Assistant. I'll run it as administrator. From the welcome screen, just go ahead and click on Get Started. From this question, if you are not sure about the one that is being asked, you can go ahead and click on or hover the eye on the beside the question, and it will tell you what it means. Now, I have downloaded the updated version of the Kofax Control Suite installer. So I will not be selecting yes on this question. So click next. Now, do you want to create an offline installer package? I will be selecting no because I'm actually using the offline installer package right now. And then it's asking me if I want to install the wizard manually. Yep. Wizard manually or using the wizard. Just click on wizard. Yes. Now I'm asked if I will be installing a specific product. Now, if you have not gone through the Kofax University for the e-learning for Control Suite, it actually tells you that even if you install extract print management only, all right, it will still install to you the AutoStore and the Business Connect. Now, again, this is depending on the license that you currently have. So even if you have only bought Equitrack print management solution, okay, even if it installs for you the AutoStore, you cannot be able to use them because you don't have the license to do so. Okay, so for me, I'll be selecting Control Suite and I'll be installing the whole product, and I can select which component to install it later on. Okay, so even if I select Equitrack Print Management later on, I can customize that and remove the other components if I don't want them to be installed. Okay, so click Control Suite because I'm installing the whole thing. Now it's asking me if I wanted to go and proceed with production and demo. What's the difference? You can highlight it here. And it's saying that if I'm using demo, it's all in one server. Okay. Um, for me, production environment, I can select it even though that it's an all-in-one server. I can still select the production environment. There should be no issue on that. Okay, but for this purpose, I'll be selecting the demo POC purposes because this is actually a test server. Right, click next. Now, these are all the questions about the settings on what you wanted to have. So if you remember, if you selected earlier as Equitrack, these components will still be here. Okay, if you don't want them to be installed, you can actually, click advance and try to make some changes. But I guess it doesn't allow me because I selected the control suite. Okay, and document transformation, if I wanted this option to be installed for me, which is not the default, I can check it and then click save and then it will install for me. Now I'll leave it as default for now and I'll proceed to check all the components. And if I'm happy because I'm installing everything as control suite, I'll proceed with next. Ask me where I wanted to install Kofax control suite. I'll use the default one. Click next. Now I'll be checking for prerequisites. Now, prerequisite, there's actually four areas that it will check. Operating system checks whether the operating system that you're running is actually the one that they have posted on their website. So if, for example, you're using Windows Server 2003, now that's actually obsolete and no longer supported by Microsoft. So you will have an X mark on the operating system and you won't be able to proceed to install. So again, you have to make sure that these are all into the level that has been specified on the Control Suite website, okay, for the prerequisite. So you can check the website for more information on that one. For the hardware components, if you're running minimum, that should be fine. However, if you get more services and you get more interactions into the server, then you will experience some bandwidth issues, right, or latency issues, and it will be best to be on the preferred specification for your CPU cores and their memory. Um, and if you can add more memory, that will be much better. So right now, mine is actually on the preferred area and a little bit higher for my memory. Okay, for the ports, all of these ports has to be enabled. So if in case that you're having some issues, um, getting the services started, it can be because of the port. So make sure that you allow them through your firewall. I'm currently using a domain right now, so I guess that's where um, the warning sign is. Okay, but I have disabled my firewall, so it should be fine. Okay. For the software, so these are all our prerequisites. Now, if I were to install them, I need more information on what is this .NET, framework 3.5. I can go over to this I for information, and it will tell me where to go and how to get it. All right. So if I go over and select this .NET Framework runtime, all right, if I wanted to go online to get it, I can actually just click on that and it will open the browser for me, okay, my default browser, and it will ask me to download the .NET. So again, if you are not using the offline installer, you will not have the prerequisites available for you, okay? As I already have the offline one, I can go over to my prerequisites and my .NET is actually right here. Okay, so yeah, I'll proceed to install. Okay, all of the settings that we currently have. I will proceed with roles, okay, of this prerequisite, such as the .NET framework. So if you can see here, it's asking me to go to the server manager and install that role up. Okay, so I'll install IIS .NET framework. So let me show you right now. We go to open our server manager. From here, click on add roles and features. Then click on next, role based next, select the server next. And then from here, we'll proceed with web IIS, add feature. All right, click next. And then we have to go ahead and scroll down. All right, and just check any of the settings that we know. If we're happy, we just proceed with the next one. Now, I'm just showing you the glimpse of the web server role, okay, so that you will see that once I refresh the install assistant, that this server role is actually has been applied. But anyway, so that we don't, consume more time, I'll go ahead and also add the print and document services. Okay. And on the next feature, I'll be adding the Telnet client. Okay. So these are actually important for us when we are troubleshooting. Okay. For any purpose of troubleshooting, just to check if the port is open. So of course we need to telnet client. So right now what we're doing is we're enabling those features so that it's much easier for us to troubleshoot. But again, for the requirement of Control Suite, the print and document service is actually not required, and also the telnet. Okay, so click next on that. Web server role. So in here, in the web server role, the important ones that is needed will be inside the application development. Okay, so that one is the .NET extensibility, so just add that one in. Okay, 4.6, and also the application initialization is important, and then your ASP.NET and add that in, and also the 4.6. For the management tools, we go to IIS 6 management compatibility, expand that out, okay, and make sure the management console is actually also added. Now, this is important because our anchor track is now running a web client, okay, so IIS is important for it. Proceed with next. For the print document service, we just need the LPD service. Okay, this is only for troubleshooting purposes, so it's much easier for us to check and monitor if we're having some issues with our Equitrack print server. Okay, So again, the telnet and print and document service is more towards the troubleshooting part. So it's much easier for us to check and troubleshoot any issues from this server or to the server. All right, so alternate source path. Now, this one will be coming from our installer, from our Windows installer. So let me go ahead and browse that through. So specify source path. So in here, right, so this is the one. Okay, and I'll go ahead and proceed to click install. So those are mostly all of the rows that is required. So once that's done, then it will be installed for us. Now, again, I have reiterated that normally the print and document service and also the telnet client is normally required for troubleshooting purposes. You don't really need to set that up um, for the particular user or customer. Okay, you can have that yeah removed if you don't need them. All right, installation is successful. So I'll just go ahead and click on close on this one, and we will go back to our install assistant. So if you can see, right, we have here still the IIS, .NET Framework, right? And we also have down at the bottom is the web server IIS. So what I will do is I'll just click retry, and it will try to check the server again for the prerequisite. And if you have seen here, they are now all checked, right? Because we have recently installed them, okay? Or added them from the rows. So what I will do is I will go ahead and proceed with the installation from the prerequisite folder. So from here, prerequisite. So I'll go ahead and start to install them up one by one. So this one is Amazon Corretto, and this is actually replacing Java if I remember correctly. So let's just install this one up. There you go, it's finished. Now the .NET hosting, I'll leave it first, okay? I'll proceed with installing our um, Visual C++. So let's install them all up. So it has a 2010, 2012, 2013, and 2015, right? So they're all here. So we'll start with 64-bit. All right, finish. Install this 32. All right, finish. We'll install the 2012 2013 64-bit first, sorry. And then we install the 32-bit. Okay, for 2012, it's 32-bit. And then 64 for 2015. And 32-bit for 2015. Okay. And then we'll run Microsoft Web Service Enhancement. Okay. Let's install this one up. We'll just proceed with runtime, I guess. Finish. We'll install the other one as well. Okay, install this one. Next. Runtime and install. Okay, that's finished. Okay, so let's go over to our install assistant and let's check the prerequisites again. So you normally have only three, right? So we'll install the ODBC driver, and then I'll install the .NET framework, and then the MySQL server, and then the .NET Core hosting bundle. All right. So let's do that. So we'll install the .NET first. Okay, I accept. Click install. All right. So it's telling us that we're actually running some of the services right now, and we have to close them up if we like to proceed with the .NET. Okay, so if we were to close the install assistant, what will happen is that it will ask us later on, once we run it again, if we wanted to resume. So that should be fine, okay, to close. So let me proceed to close them up. Okay, and close some of this. And okay, let's try again. So recording. Okay, still installing. All right. Now, usually .NET installation will require for the server to be rebooted before you can proceed to install the rest of the other stuff. But let us see if I can still be able to install some of the prerequisite. So I click finish. Okay. So let's install ODBC. Okay. Let's just install this one. And that's done. And we'll proceed with the local DB. Okay, I accept. All right. Okay, and the last one is the .NET hosting. All right, so all has been installed. Let's go over and check Install Assistant. So let's launch Install Assistant again. So click next, next. Do you want to resume? Yes. Right, so this is where we are earlier about the component. So I'll just select everything as default again. Okay, so if you can see here, the prerequisite is now all checked, right? The status are all checked, and even the ports are actually all has been checked, right? There's no issue with the ports anymore. And again, if you do have any concerns here, you have to make sure that they are all green before you can proceed so that you will not have any issues. Right, so I'll go ahead and proceed to click on next for Install Assistant. It will then download and install everything for us. Okay, and once that this is done, okay, Configuration Assistant will automatically be launched, okay, on the particular server where this installer is going to be. So once that this is successfully installed, you no longer, you cannot reboot your PC. So you are no longer advised to reboot your PC, else it will break and you will have to start again. Okay, so I'll probably going to proceed to complete this installation, and then we can go ahead and create a new video for the configuration assistant. So let's just go ahead and check what's the installation so you can see how it goes. All right, there you go. So it actually finished to install as the install assistant. Now, if you can see down here, it will automatically open Configuration Assistant once that we click Finish. All right, so thanks for watching this video. I hope that this video have shared most of the insight about the Install Assistant and how to configure Kofax ControlSuite prerequisites. All right, and see you on the next one for the configuration. Thank you.